Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Well, almost. In a few hours, we'll be celebrating the new year. Great to be with you today. Obviously, I'm not at my desk. I'm not at my office, so I have a fake background here. This is actually my farm in Tennessee. So I'm actually calling and meeting with you today live from Utah. We're out here celebrating the 90th birthday of my mother-in-law with a nice family reunion and lots of our kids and grandkids. So it's great to be with you. But I missed last week when I was in Peru because we had crummy internet and it was New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. So didn't really feel right. But today we have much to talk about. There's lots of crazy stuff going on. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks since we talked. And we just want to get right into some of the issues that are just percolating up right now. Let's start with DACA. Obviously, we didn't get a decision from Judge Hannon before Christmas. Obviously not. Looks like we're not getting it before New Year's either. Let's just hope and pray that Judge Hannon decides to make his final decision here in early January so we can begin getting the DACA cases approved for pending folks. They've been pending for the last 4 years, and new people can apply. Again, keep in mind, if you're in Texas, you're going to have to move if you want to keep the work permit portion of DACA. You're going to need to move if you want to do that. You will keep DACA, which is the protection that you have from being picked up and deported, but you won't have a work permit, which means you won't have an ID because you can't get one from Texas. So, if you can live your life without an ID, more power to you. A lot of people can't. But again, to confirm, you can work in Texas as long as you're living outside of Texas. That was an issue that came up in the briefings, which is a complaint by the state of Texas that these people will keep working here. And immigration was like, yeah, so that doesn't cost you anything if they work there. If they get sick, they'll just, their whatever emergency medical care stuff will be transferred to their home state. So you're not out anything. Nothing. Everything you complained about, you don't have. Which is kind of a weird position for the government to take under Trump, but they took it anyway. So that's where the DACA is. That's the DACA update. Keep in mind, remember, if you have DACA, you can use that in many circumstances to get a green card through alternative means. And for most of those, that is marriage or a child over 21, you're going to need a legal entry. So if you don't have one or you don't have 245I protection, you're going to need to do advanced parole. And they're still approving advanced paroles for DACA recipients. Yes, they're slow. They're around 11 months, but they're doing them, because we do get them in every little bit for people that we filed in January and February of this year. Also, if you don't have unlawful presence, that means you got DACA before you were 18 and a half, and you maintain DACA through the last X period of years, an employer can sponsor you for a green card. Now, you will have to consular process outside the United States. You can also apply in the new H-1B lottery, but we're going to talk about that in a second, but you're going to be depending on our lawsuit on the $100,000 fee. So DACA is still there. DACA is still viable. Obviously, the last bit of advice is renew your DACA a year in advance. Okay, renew it a year in advance. That's kind of where we are. The other key thing for today is our lawsuit that we are filing as part of the Impact group that I am a member of. Impact is a consortium of 4 immigration law firms, myself at Cook Baxter. We've got Jesse Bless at Bless Litigation in Boston, Greg Siskin of Siskin and Susser in Memphis, and Aaron Hall and Kirby Joseph of Joseph and Hall in Denver. And we have a consortium. We've sued the government many times over the last 7 years. We're about to file next Friday is the goal. I think we can meet it on behalf of these individuals for whom USCIS has literally stopped adjudicating cases. Who are these people? They are people that were born in one of the 39 countries that Trump has decided can't ever get legal status, can't change their status, can't extend their status, can't get work permits, can't get visas approved, none of it. Now, the president does clearly have broad authority to bar entry into the United States of individuals. Clearly he does. This lawsuit isn't about entry into the United States. This lawsuit is about visa adjudication, both by the consulate, but more importantly, by USCIS. So deadline was last night to sign up, but we decided to let people sign up through I think it's through Friday, because we're now working on the briefs and the complaint. We've got our causes of action set, and now we'll be adding plaintiffs in. We're going to have a call on Monday night at 7:00. It'll be a Zoom meeting for all plaintiffs or interested plaintiffs. And we'll be sending out an email to all the people that signed up on the website. So if you signed up and not paid yet, that is one way to get invited to this Zoom. I want to find out what's going on. But again, this is only for those individuals from one of the 39 countries who have a pending case with USCIS or a pending visa application at the consulate and have not gotten an interview. This is not a lawsuit, not yet anyway, about entry into the United States, which is a much more difficult suit to file on the issue of 212F. So if you are part of those 39 countries, you're still able to join up. We saw no need to end it last night. We want to make sure we got enough people in the suit. We have more than enough to do that. So please join. That is one way we're going to fight against this. Now let's take a step back in time and talk about the Trump $100,000 fee. The Trump $100,000 fee is supposedly for individuals who will need to consular process. So if you have DACA and you want to get an H-1B, you will need to consular process. That means you or your employer will have to pay $100,000 to the USCIS to do that. We have filed a lawsuit on there. Three lawsuits have been filed. We filed first. So Impact, along with folks at the Justice Action Center and at Democracy Forward, along with a couple law firms, Asian Americans Advancing Justice. We filed a lawsuit in California in October, right after he issued that. But we did not file a preliminary injunction right away because we needed to see the impact. The second lawsuit filed was by the Chamber of Commerce, and they filed the preliminary injunction right away, and they lost. And I think their loss was because they did not include declarations from affected people. The judge even said, "You haven't shown me how this is going to hurt anybody. You don't have any declarations." They also did a really poor job of arguing about the tax issues, that this is a tax which the president cannot put into place. It's not a fee because the fee has to cover things that it actually costs. The president can't do that. I think the judge may have gone a different way if it had been argued differently. But at the end of the day, they lost that lawsuit. A third lawsuit was filed earlier this month by 23 attorney generals from Democratic states. But we filed our preliminary injunction a couple of weeks ago. And we are in the process now of waiting for the government's response, which is due, I think, the end of the month. Maybe January, next Friday, I think. We have oral argument in February on this case, where we will be going to California. I think it's February 16th, and we will live on the front on that. I think the judge is going to strike it down. I think this is an illegal fee. It's a tax, and it's illegal for the president to do that. But the lottery is March 1, so hopefully we'll get a decision before March 1 that will enable employers to realize, yeah, I can do the H-1B. This is nuts. But that's the update on that litigation. But in a related piece of litigation is the new litigation that's likely going to be filed here in the next few weeks on the lottery rule. So the Trump administration re-implemented something they tried to do the first time they were in the House, basically making the lottery, that's weird, making the H-1B lottery dependent, and whether you win or not, your chances of winning on your salary, so that higher salaried individuals will have a better chance of lottery. And some people say, "Oh, that's a great idea. What a great idea!" Except it's a great idea if H-1Bs were only used for tech bros. But H-1Bs are used for lots of jobs that don't have exceptionally high salaries. For example, school teachers. How much do you think a school teacher gets paid? $50,000, $40,000. Depending on where they are. If they're in rural Georgia, probably making $40,000 or $50,000 a year. So it takes away from the ability of smaller employers or lower paying employers, not because they're driving wages down, but because that job pays what it does pay. Because remember, for an H-1B, you got to pay whatever the government says the prevailing wage is. Now, I know the arguments from all the H-1B bros, they hate H-1Bs, like stealing jobs from Americans. How? You think there's enough Americans to fill every job that's open? Clearly not. Because why would an employer pay the normal filing fees? In any event, this lawsuit, I don't know why that keeps going away. This lawsuit is going to be filed in January. I don't know who's going to file it yet. I've talked to a couple of people, but I think they're going to win it because the lottery itself is really clearly delineated by Congress. It's supposed to be random. They're making it non-random by adding. So basically, if you're at level 4 wage levels, higher 4 levels, you get 8 chances to apply. So, there's a timer on. Oh, that's why. Timer off. There we go. I was wondering why I keep going after 10 seconds. I had a 10-second timer on. So the wage is, so if you're level 4, you get 8 chances. If you're level 3, you get 6 chances. If you're level 2, you get 4 chances. Level 1, you get 1 chance. All right. So level 1 is the entry-level wage, which is generally what H-1Bs get paid because they're mostly recent college grads. Why would they get paid a level 4 wage? They just got out of college, right? So, and you have to have a college degree to do these jobs. At the end of the day, I think that regulation will be struck down as well. But stay tuned. We'll have more information about that going forward. By the way, this is the onboarding link that's still available for our lawsuit on the 39 adjudication. By the way, we're also going after the discretion issue. So there's 2 memos. One is the 39 country memo, and the other is, hey, we're going to take as a massive negative factor your country of birth in adjudicating a case. That's illegal. I mean, that violates the actual language of the Immigration Nationality Act, and it also violates the Equal Protection Clause. I mean, it just does. So that's where that is. I'd also remind folks that we do have a U and a T visa pending. So if you have a litigation, if you have a U or T visa, and you have deferred action, ICE has been arresting you and your friends and your colleagues, people in the same situation, which is illegal. It's illegal for them to do that because you have deferred action. What this is a positive piece of litigation to get an order in place to basically protect everybody with deferred action from being arrested by ICE. Okay, that's still out there. I do want to talk a little bit about our recent habeas victories in Southern District of Georgia, Middle District of Georgia. Now, our law firm is located in Georgia. 2 of the largest detention centers in the United States are in the Middle District, that is Folkestone, and in Stewart. And then we have the Folkestone down in Southern District. The judges, we got 12 habeas grants yesterday. I think we've got another 15 or 20 that are probably come out today. We had 5 bond hearings today. So yesterday we won, I think, 7. We had 5 bond hearings today. Everybody got bond. Everybody's out. So we do handle these bond cases for people. Even if they're not our regular clients, we do the habeas corpus petitions for them. Give us a call. We're happy to help out with that. I don't know why this time, I'm going to turn this timer off. So that's our habeas victories in these places. I do want to mention something for diversity, because I know I get a lot of diversity followers here, people that have been selected in the diversity lottery because of the victories we had back in 2019, 2020, 2021 on the diversity visa. What the heck? What's the timer? There's no timer on this. So we have not chosen to sue yet. I've actually talked to a couple people in the know here, and we want to wait until January, mid-January, to see if they're really not going to adjudicate diversity cases. And they can't not do that. They can't not do that. So we think the litigation will be starting probably mid-January, but we'll keep you apprised about that in case you were asking about that. And then finally, let's talk about, just briefly, what does Trump have on the agenda for 2026? And it's really simple. They plan to stop all legal immigration. They plan to stop all legal immigration. It is, it's coming. I mean, it's telling you that's what's going to happen. They plan to stop all legal immigration. And because they plan to stop all legal immigration, I'm just trying to get a timer here. There we go. Oh, there we go. Save that. All right. So they want to stop all legal immigration. All legal immigration. How are they going to do that? Well, you probably don't remember this. They did that in 2020. They basically had stopped all legal immigration. So they would one is not adjudicating cases. It's an easy way for them to do it. They're going to use an excuse that they need to investigate all the cases granted under Biden to make sure they were properly done. Now, keep in mind, we have lots of experience, Cook Baxter, on defending people from denaturalization, from defending them from people taking their green cards away. And we litigate. We've litigated now for 37 years as of tonight. And we really are committed to our clients to make sure that they get the benefits that they merit under our laws. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, please let us know. You can always make an appointment with me or any of our staff. Keep in mind, you don't have to see me. We've got 10 lawyers. They're all great lawyers. You can just give us a call at 404-816-8611. Make that appointment, or you can just go to our website, make the appointment on the website. Zoom appointments. I do mostly Zoom appointments these days because it's just easier. They're easier for you. They're easier for me. Some people will say, but I want to see you in person. Why? I'm the same person, but to smell me, I smell good. Definitely smell good. But I mean, that's the only difference between that and Zoom. And this way, you're in the comfort of your own home, or your own office, or your car, wherever you are. I can take notes without bothering you. And I think they tend to go much smoother, much easier. So set a Zoom appointment. Those are so much easier. And of course, if you have a question, I'm happy to answer questions. I answer questions all day long. And, obviously I'm not giving formal legal advice, but if you have a question about something, email me. I answer them. I'm not hiding from clients. And even after we're hired, we have a team that works on every case. We have 2 lawyers and a paralegal on every team. So you can always reach us anytime you want to. Let's take a look here at some of our questions. We don't have a lot. I didn't expect to get a lot of people listening today. We've got over 300, which is great. Hello, Thice Queen. Good to see you. Happy New Year's Eve. Orlando, the same to you. Happy New Year's Eve. Update on the pause lawsuit. I gave that update earlier. We will be having a call with all our plaintiffs on Monday night, as well as interested plaintiffs, people who haven't paid yet. We are taking payments through Friday this week, only because the website that took payments went down yesterday briefly. Still don't have it. I mean, it's a professional website. It's not our website. We hired the team to put that website together, and whatever, it's the internet. And the goal is to file next Friday on the 2 issues, on the issue of the discretionary denial because of country of birth, and on the absolute pause on adjudication. I think both of those are illegal. Buenos tardes, Bede Argentino. Ojalá que todo está bien. Amipat, good to see you, Amipat. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you, Benny. I appreciate that. Vanessa, hey, Vanessa, hope you're doing well. You sent us a cute Jane, very kind. Remember, if you have DACA and you're not a member of Dreamers Together Facebook page, you're missing out on an incredible experience. I mean, really, they help people renew their DACA. They help people get advanced paroles. Plus, you get to share your stories. You can see you're not alone in this. You may get an idea. Countless people have gone there and realized, I can do advanced parole. All these other people, I don't have to be afraid. All these other people got advanced parole. Why can't I get advanced parole? Because you can. You can absolutely do it. Dreamers Together, great place to go. Some lawyers are still saying maybe new DACA is going to be adjudicated. Why are they still? I don't know. First of all, you don't see me on TikTok. At least I don't think you see me on TikTok. Because TikTok does not provide for providing good advice. TikTok rewards sensationalism, big lips, big hair, glamour. Clearly, I am none of those things. So why maybe? I don't know. Maybe they can't read, because USCIS said they will begin adjudicating new cases as soon as the case is approved by Judge Hanna. So Oscar Diaz, lawyer, I'm a client requesting me my case 2 weeks ago, and you have not answered me so far. You know why I have not answered you, Oscar? Because you didn't ask me. I don't know who you asked, but it wasn't me, because I don't have any unanswered emails. And guess what I just did, Oscar? I gave you my email. You could actually email me directly. I don't know. Maybe you haven't done that. I know you haven't done it to me, because I would have answered. I answer all my emails immediately. Can my mom naturalize? She no longer works. It's pretty much dependent on me. I think she can work. I think she can naturalize. I understand that people are really scared about some of the crazy things the Trump administration has said about naturalization, about having to show that you merit naturalization. That's not true. There's nothing about that requires. Now, they may deny her, but we'll go to court, and a judge is going to say, that's not in the statute. I can naturally, you meet the basic criteria, pass the test, you're good to go. Your mom does not need to work, and she can have health issues. That's perfectly fine. So Uriel, have her apply for naturalization. The key, of course, is can she speak the language? That's the one they really focus on. Barry said Chamber of Commerce. Well, I don't think that has any, and we'll have to talk about that with the judge, but I don't think that really has an impact on us, and here's why. First of all, they didn't have any declarations in their lawsuit. None. I honestly, I'm stunned by that. They didn't get any of their members to write affidavits about how this will negatively affect them. We have a dozen affidavits across the spectrum from employers in our lawsuit. Two, they didn't really address the tax issue, which, again, to me is the key part of the case. The president cannot create a tax. Fees are fees in the federal government that account for the cost of doing something, also statutory. Didn't address those issues. If you read Judge Howell's opinion, you basically say the president can make up immigration laws under 212F, and he can't. The president does not have that authority. Period. End of story. Hola, abogado. ¿Cómo quedará la ciudadanía por nacimiento? Yo creo que he's asking how will birthright citizenship work. Yo creo que el Corte Supremo no va a decir contrario de lo que es la ley por los últimos 170 años, o de eres hasta la fundación de la República. So I think you're going to be fine. I did not see the Supreme Court overturning what are 300 years of common law. I mean, there's been a couple of great articles that have come out recently from law professors who do my did research about birthright citizenship in England prior to the foundation of our country, and that birth in England was, in fact, a basis for citizenship. Now, that was changed recently in the UK by law, but in our position, it's in our Constitution, so it cannot be changed by law. And by the way, it is also federal law that says if you're born here, you're a U.S. citizen. Subject, I know these people that rail on and on about subject to the jurisdiction thereof, which means diplomats. It's always meant diplomats. It's meant diplomats since the beginning of time. Diplomats. Okay, but illegal immigration didn't exist then. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The fact that there weren't laws to create people illegal. Julian, Happy New Year. Thanks for your work and you're welcome, Julian. Good to see you today. We've got Adriana Moreno. I received an RFE after my interview with 485. Okay. What does the RFE say? What do they want? You have to respond to that generally within 84 days. But if you've got a lawyer, have your lawyer look at it and put a response together and send it in. If it's not a bad one, you should be fine. Hello, I'm in Georgia. I have DACA. I have deportation order. I check with you every year. Can they detain me? They cannot detain you. And by the way, Carlos, why didn't you reopen your case when Biden was president? Could have done it, but not going to detain you. Good afternoon, Mr. Happy New Year to you and your family. You're welcome. My family is very blessed. Thanks you, 29 Super C. Great to see you. Carmen, hola doctor. Primeramente, feliz año nuevo, que sigue representándonos todas las personas que resuciten sus servicios. Gracias por siempre informarnos de los nuevos cambios de inmigración. Somos peruanos. Estaba en el Perú la semana pasada. Mi hijo tiene DACA, su primer AP, porque ahora el segundo Advanced Parole ya tiene esperando 10 meses. Un mes más debe tenerlo. She's asking about advanced paroles. They're from Peru. For some reason, his official AP was denied. I don't know why. But 11 meses is, a little bit more. Un poco más de tiempo. Happy New Year. Recently got approved for my green card. Had a misdemeanor 10 years ago, which was disclosed during process. You will not have any issues. If you are approved for your green card, you will not have any issues returning and coming back. I would take the documents with you to show whatever the nature of that was. But remember, it's in the immigration file anyway, which is probably electronic if you were approved this last year. Grace, good to see you. Still, Trump is going to have to leave DACA alone. I don't know in 2026. We'll see more with what Judge Hannon does. But remember, to get rid of DACA, they will have to go through the Administrative Procedures Act process, which takes quite a while. So, anything's possible, Grace. But I think they touched DACA. I think that's a bad election issue for them. I think it's a really bad election issue for them. And they're already facing bad election issues. So no, I don't think he's going to touch DACA this next year. If visa is denied and immediately due to travel ban, what happens to the case? Well, first of all, they cannot deny the visa for the travel ban. They have to give you the visa. Now, can you use the visa to come in? That's the travel ban. And that's not in our lawsuit. That's a separate lawsuit that we will likely have to file after we win this. So you will get the approved visa, absolutely. And then also, do we have to do everything from scratch? It's probably lifted or something charges. Well, that depends on the individual case, but you should be able to keep extending that visa because of the ban until you can come in the country, which will probably be when a Democrat's in the White House. Andrea Sarmiento, how long is it taking to process DACA renewals? Well, Andrea, that's what's weird. That's why you should be on Dreamers Together, by the way, on the Facebook group, because you see some taking 3 days. Like I saw one last month, 3 days. Others are taking 9 months. So I don't know. You expire 2/26. Andrea, if I'm you, I have your lawyer, if you're using a lawyer, have your lawyer call immigration or go on the website, put an inquiry and say, I'm going to be expiring in February. I need to get this approved to keep my job. So, or even use your congressman or your senator to make an inquiry. Does Judge Hannon have a final date? No, Judge Hannon has no deadline under which he's required to rule. We're just counting on his good graces. Happy New Year, Mr. Baxter. I am not Mr. Baxter. The Cook name change works on the 2026. I don't know what you're talking about, a Cook name change. Remember, I'm Charles Cook, not Mr. Baxter. You'll see him on Friday. What are your thoughts on new biometric rule? They think they will ask initial to go. No, I don't think DACA will have to get new biometrics. New biometrics, don't worry about the pictures. Don't worry about that. I think you're fine. That means they will make you get new pictures every 3 years. Other than that, I think you're fine. Leslie Land, Happy New Year. We live in Texas. My friend's DACA. I recently got his work permit through U visa. So if you're okay, you're okay. If you have the U visa, that means he has deferred action. He's not accruing unlawful presence. So for you, you guys stay in Texas. You're good. Hopefully your husband is traveling on advanced parole so you can do an adjustment for him. Or better yet, you're doing an I-130 and a waiver. If you win the perm bar litigation, would that change things for everyone else too? Yes. Well, it's not a class action. If we win it, which we may or may not, no one knows how it's going to turn out. We won't know for several more months. It would be the first time that it's been litigated. And I think you'd have to litigate it over and over and over again unless you were in the district in which we won. Is advanced parole still happening? Been waiting since February. Yes, advanced parole is still happening. We did get one from early February last week. Has anyone else accrued unlawful presence in the child? Well, unlawful presence doesn't accrue till you turn 18, except under the government's interpretation of the permanent bar. Toby, good to see you. Danielle, greetings from Dallas, Fort Worth. I'm a doctor with 2 years of experience in civil engineering. No unlawful presence. One port of entry looking for a path to LPR. Employment-based visa is the only option for a path to LPR other than getting married. Yes, that's your only other option unless you've been the victim of a crime or human trafficking or labor trafficking. Those are also paths to a green card, Daniel. Love is the easiest, so to speak. How long does the perdón take? What is needed after that is received? Are you referring to the 601A perdón? This is the unlawful presence perdón. That's currently taking 24 to 25 months, if that's the perdón you are referencing. Cristina Gomez, abogado, I was caught crossing at the age of 10, released in Mexico a few hours later, crossed back 2 days later, stayed for months, went back to Mexico, crossed again in December. You do not have the permanent bar. You don't have the permanent bar. Why? Because the permanent bar doesn't require multiple entries. That's not the permanent bar. The permanent bar is coming, staying for 1 year illegally, then leaving and coming back in. That's the permanent bar. You don't have the permanent bar. You are fine. Happy New Year. Traveling domestically with DACA would have deportation order. You are fine to travel. You are. You're fine to travel. You have DACA. Take your card with you. Can you PM me about this? I have questions, please. I don't know. RM, Eric, why don't you email me? Email is way better than PMs, okay? Because Facebook PMs are a giant pain in the butt when I'm not your, quote, friend. But email, so easy. I'll put my email up again at the end of this. Just email me. It's way faster. Sarah Gachus, I'm waiting for my DACA renewal, expires in April. Also in April, how should we file? Well, you can't file till he turns 21. So the day of his birthday, you can file if you have your lawful entry. Okay, I am a physician from a high-risk countries. I signed for the case. Oh, good. When do you expect we get a decision on the lawsuit? Well, we'll be filing a preliminary injunction shortly after we file the complaint. We've got to get the complaint done first, and we'll do the preliminary injunction. And Lawrence, if you join the call on Monday night, we'll go over all these details with you. I received an RFE after my interview for a 45. They received what I sent like more than 30 days ago. Do I have any idea how much longer? Well, it's usually at least 4 months. Other than at least 4 months. Are work permits based on employment adjustment of status included in the pause? Yes, everything. They're not going to adjudicate anything for countries that are part of the 39 country ban. Nothing. Hola, buenos días, abogado. Necesito hacer un advance parole. Sería mi segunda vez. Usted me podría ayudar que tengo que hacer advance parole de emergencia en personas en su oficina local. Yes. Llama hoy día a las 404-816-8611. Yo no estoy de un viaje esta semana, pero mi socio Dustin estará viernes y puede hablar contigo. In the UK, they intended to brush with Margaret Thatcher. There you go. But they had to end it because that was their law. Happy New Year's Eve, Mr. Cook. My question is about I-131 advance parole. What's going on with the first-time applicants? They're just taking a really long time. They're doing them, though. It's a good idea to apply for others, knowing that now he's putting all these. They're not putting them aside. They're just going really, really slow. We'll go into litigation in the future if they don't start processing. I hesitate to litigate on advance paroles because it's discretionary. And they'll probably just toss us out on discretion. The court will. So I don't really want to take money to do something that I'm pretty sure is not going to be useful. What is the assumption from Hannon's decision? Well, he doesn't have a choice. Remember, the Fifth Circuit already ruled that DACA was legal, at least everywhere besides Texas, because Texas was the only state that complained. So DACA is still legal. So what is the assumption? The assumption is he hates that he got overturned. He hates that he got shut down by the court. Okay, I get it. Not everybody's happy with the decisions in the court. Trust me. I've been on plenty of negative decisions in my life. But hopefully he'll do it soon. Sería lo correcto salir con todo LL que está pasando. Erika, esa es una decisión personal. She's asking if everybody should leave. Es una decisión personal. Trump será presidente por 3 años más. No creo que Vance será elegido como presidente, pero tampoco pensé que Trump iba a ganar hasta que vimos la competencia de Harris y Biden. Usted solo puede decidir esta pregunta. Abogado, give us first-time applicants some hope. Been waiting since March. You probably got a couple more months, Karen. A couple more months. Greetings, Mr. Cook. What's the latest change on VAWA? Well, here's VAWA. So many garbage applications were filed. And I'm going to tell you, I've seen it. There's a lot of these had information that was not accurate, that was made up. We know that's the case. Immigration said that was the case when they issued their updated policy last week, but I suspect that these are going to take a very long time. And they are going to probably send investigators around to talk to you on almost every case. I really think that's going to happen, especially those that don't really have support. Like, oh, my daughter was mean to me when she was 21. Don't think that's going to fly much anymore. These are going to be really hard cases to win going forward because it was abused. What's an asylum? Asylum was abused. They're going to make asylum really hard. Sir, I am curious to know, I usually read myself, but I'm scared to do it after I did AP. Can it affect me in any way? No. If you're talking about DACA, you can do it yourself. Just follow the rules. You'll be fine. Use your friends at Dreamers Together. If I have a pending asylum case, play the interview, I'm waiting for a decision. I was born in one of 19 countries. Am I eligible to join the lawsuit? You are eligible to join the lawsuit. Yes. There are 39 countries now, by the way. We said adjustment of status in August this year and haven't heard anything yet. In Texas, husband did AP and has DACA. How long? It's probably 2 years now, 12 to 25 months. This is the early days of the Trump administration doing these cases quickly are over. So you got to expect somewhere around 20 to 25 months. Romero, 894. I applied for DACA in 2015, and they requested more evidence. Out of frustration, understanding what more evidence they needed, I let them deny my case. You can reapply when it reopens, Romero. Absolutely. HNY Charles, see you soon. Solid disclosures. Good to see you, Samant. Could they extend the 10,000 U visa given? No, they cannot. Only Congress can do that. Do I have any help in that? Help naturally my mom who has dementia health issues? So basically, yes, you have to get her evaluated by her physician and fill out a form I-693. Is that right? 693? No. N470. N470, sorry. N470 that will confirm that she has dementia and cannot learn. Health issues I'm not so concerned with. I think we can overcome those in court if need be. But to get out of the test, you got to show that she really cannot learn. So you need the medical exam waiver. Happy New Year. Best point of entry is coming back from Mexico into the United States. I mean, honest, I wouldn't go to, are you walking? Are you flying? The land is great to fly into. That's what I think. In your opinion, do you think Hannon's instructions on DACA could cause congressional legislation? No, I do not. Again, there is legislation pending on DACA, but it has zero chance of having a hearing. Can you leave $1 million for the gold visa? Yeah, well, the gold visa it's illusion. It's illusionary. The gold card. Position also screwed about 100,000 despite all the employers wanting to hire me, having vacant. Yeah, I agree. That's awful. I'm still waiting on AP to find my husband. Waiting to find a husband. So anyone you recommend in the Idaho area that help with a permanent bar issue, email me. I probably know somebody in Salt Lake City that can help with it, which is, I don't know that many lawyers in Idaho, but I do know a great lawyer in Salt Lake City, which is my son. Thank you, Abogado. I do have a all right, good to see you, Christina. We'll see you then. How long does it take to get an answer after written mandamus for delayed I-130? Government has 60 days to respond. The answer is 60 days is when you'll hear back from the government in that. What usually happens in most mandamus cases, not involving the 39 countries, is the U.S. attorney will call your lawyer and say, hey, they're interviewing her. Will you dismiss the case? And we'll say, no, we'll dismiss the case when they're granted. I have DACA with removal order. Are they doing motion reopen? Honestly, you probably have zero chance of winning the motion reopen. It's at this stage. They're denying almost all those. Most of the judges that granted, it depends on where you are, but most of the judges that granted those have been fired. ¿Cuánto tiempo tarda el maestro en persona con USCIS? Well, en persona de emergencia es un día, pero alguien tiene que estar muriendo. Okay. Abigail, hello, Mr. Cook. Happy New Year's. Quick question on the biometrics we get from the same now being questioned. Yes, they're the same biometrics. Do I have any, same system? Do I have any hope in being able to naturalize my mom? She has to, you already asked this, right? Yes. Set an appointment. Are DACA renewals taking long? Again, 3 days to 9 months is what I'm saying, Jose. It's why you apply a year out. Solo I-130 pending 27 meses. By my husband, has reached out several times. 27 months. If you go to the website, they say they're taking 5 years. But what I would do, if you hit 36 months, I would sue. I wouldn't sue before 36 months, but I would sue at 36 months. Miss what's going on in DACA? You go back. All you got to do is rewind to the beginning, and right at the beginning, I talk about DACA. Feliz año nuevo a usted, Rosy. Happy New Year. Thanks for the help. I applied for renewals in September. I'll receive my receipt. You'll get it. 3 days to 9 months. Do you think mass cancellation of H-1B consequences for social media screening was deliberate? Oh, of course it was deliberate. I mean, come on, of course it was deliberate. There's nothing accidental by this administration. They're incompetent, but they're not stupid. Okay, that's 2 different things. It's all intentional. Their job, their rule, what they want is fewer brown people in America. Hasn't been any national interest exemption for H1. No, as far as we know, none. There's no exemption that we've seen. O1 is the best option. Has anyone with document deported in an ICE raid lately? So here's the deal. We had, if you remember the big Hyundai raid in April, May, June, whenever that was, they did arrest 2 DACA recipients. One was released after I made a phone call within a couple of days. The other one we just got out just recently. So yeah, they have arrested them, but he had gotten a DUI. So they're probably going to revoke his DACA. Suman, you're echoing my wife's words and my mom's words. Thank you very much. What do you think initials will be? When do you think initials will begin adjudicating? Oh, initial DACAs. As soon as they said they would do it immediately upon the judge's order. Abogado, una pregunta. Después de mandar mi paquete de visa U, ¿cuánto tiempo tendría para recibir un permiso de trabajo? A lo mínimo 1 año. Y probablemente tendrás que llevar litigación. Hola, doctor. ¿Es seguro salir con Advance Parole? Sí. Si tienes Advance Parole, vas a regresar. Sumad, good to see you, my friend. All right, that's the last of our questions for today. I hope everybody has an amazing evening. Celebrate responsibly. If you're not a U.S. citizen, don't drink. Just don't drink. Really. You don't want to get drunk and do something stupid. What you want to do really is make sure that you are doing things right. And again, one last thing here to keep in mind for me. If you want to reach me, all you got to do is call 404-816-8611. Make an appointment. We're open until 2 today, which is another few minutes. We'll be closing. You go to our website, make appointments at immigration. How much easier? It's immigration.net. In Spanish, it's inmigracion.net. It's not that hard. And you want to email me. As this fellow said, you didn't get back to me because you didn't email me, because I've answered all my emails. Email me. I don't get everybody else's email at my 45-person law firm. I just get mine. We have rules, though. The rules are if you don't answer within a day, you get fired. So please email me directly. We'll help you. We'll get one more comment before we go. It was a good one. Oh, bendecido. Prospero año nuevo a ti también, Alejandro. So we will see you guys next week. If you have anything to do, anything good to do good. Get out there and do good. We're going to make this year the year of the immigrant, despite what Donald Trump wants. You guys have a happy new year. Take care of yourself.